to the CDC, at least 700 American women die every year from pregnancy or childbirth. More shocking, more than half of those deaths are preventable. Dr. Erica Steele from Holistic Family Practice in Virginia Beach is here to explain to us. So tell us a little bit more about this study.
Yes, so it was a very interesting study that the CDC did, and they actually discovered that in the developing world, we're actually one of the worst countries to have children in. And I think it really relates back to our lifestyle culture in this society, meaning like the foods we eat, the lack of water, the lack of movement, all the metabolic diseases that seem to be on the rise as we continue on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know that there's been an article, a big article in Vogue, Beyonce wrote about the complications that she had during her pregnancy. She got toxemia.
Yes,
So
which they haven't identified an exact cause. One of the previous ideas was that it came from toxicity within the blood, which is one theory, right? But we're really looking at it more, especially for African American women, again, those metabolic diseases like obesity, hypertension, and naturally she doesn't have any of those conditions. But, you know, I don't know when she was a vegetarian during that period of time, but, you know, there's also issues with the food and digestion and assimilation. Most of the hormonal system actually is housed in the GI system. So getting the GI system healthy and making sure that all those bacteria are good to go is really important.
Well, I know I'm quite sure Beyonce was as healthy as you get during her pregnancy as well, but I mean, I felt like I was doing everything that I could with my pregnancy, and then I still had to be sent to bed for like almost 4 weeks because I had low amniotic fluid.
Yes.
So is that another thing that obviously people need to watch out for?
Well, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services really has just, in the last like 10, 15 years, really started to dedicate their efforts to studying the women's health issues. We really haven't come a long way. In fact, in previous studies, it was mostly men that were actually placed in those studies. So we're really very much an awakening of the female health conundrum, if you will, because we don't necessarily understand our hormonal system as accurately. Like the endocrine system, for instance, is very enigmatic. It's very mysterious. It responds to all the other internal organ systems, and so it's one of those that we really need to keep an eye on and maintain.
And I know Serena Williams brought up when she was pregnant. I mean, all these stars, when something happens with them, it comes to light, but you know, it's something that everybody needs to be aware of.
I think Kim Kardashian as well experienced some complications thereof. And also, too, think about the level of stress that they're under, right?
True.
That's something that's
I mean, Serena, she even talked about that, and she's actually now taking a little break to try and balance it.
Yeah, and women especially in the center focus of the home, you know, we're getting it from all different angles, from career as well as home. We're trying to keep everything down.
Juggle.
So, exactly, always. So that adds to just a lot of stress within the body.
And I mean, and your body, even after giving birth, your body's still adjusting and getting back to
and
how
it
to
changes.
deal with it. Yes.
I mean, I know my body. I only have one daughter. My daughter's 14, and I'm still kind of working my baby body.
I still say I got my baby fat too, and my son's 11. I get that. Yes.
I know, exactly. I'm still working it up. You know, so our body just changes. Our whole chemistry changes after we give birth and that sort of thing. The other thing I want to also mention is we don't often prepare to have babies. There's another study that was done too, linking autism to actually infections in the small intestines. So we don't prepare. We talk about the first 1,000 days of life from conception to 2 years old, but we don't necessarily focus on the 365 days before you conceive in terms of getting your body prepared to be able to heal and get well. And you know, we think about that. We think what we're doing is healthy, right? But we don't necessarily know for sure, and that's where a holistic doctor really comes really in handy, where we really pinpoint down what's going on with you bio-individually.
Definitely. Now, speaking of holistic medicine, you've got some classes coming up. Tell us about those.
We do. Every month we have a different theme, a different focus. Every month we come on and talk about that. So this month is all about healthy mommies, healthy babies. We talk about how to create the ideal environment for you to have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby as well. So we talk about from that 365 days before, as well as the 1,000 days of life from conception on to 2 years old.
And you're off Laskin Road if folks want to find out more about that.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much. I
Holistic
really
family
appreciate it,
practice.
Dr. Steele. Some very interesting topics that are obviously top of mind. Everybody's talking about them. So
Definitely.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.